Alright, so I don't know, can you? I don't know. I just wanted the different scenery or whatever. It's about the storm, and it's like that best time is like that right before storm weather. But, anyways, I had a thought the other day, and I was just like, man, one of those moments I gotta make a video. You know what I'm saying? It just really tugged at me. So I was like, fuck it, let me just drop this. So, of course, I was thinking of the whole Adam and Eve concept, and I don't know. It's one of those things that since you don't have another concept of how humans came into being, it's just kind of what you run with because you don't know any other way. You know what I mean? Or you weren't told, or you didn't think about any other way, or whatever the case might be. But something I honestly thought about is, to be honest with you, it just makes more sense logically that humans came from the earth. We arose, kind of like how plants grow. You know what I mean? How they, with the right conditions, there's life. Plants can grow and shit. It's about to rain. It's raining. I'll wait till it gets bad, I guess. But I think that we honestly came from the earth. Like, it's not like, oh, I mean, yeah, it seems obvious, but they put it more of in a context where just we came from all just two people. So if you really put thought into it, it's a lot of incest that had to go on. And it's, get your kids out the room, because I'm not gonna bleep out shit, because this is what the Bible skips over. You know what I'm saying? That they don't want to teach you this part, but they want you to really believe that there was just Adam and Eve, and they had two sons pretty much. So I guess let's just say Adam and Eve had more kids that we just weren't aware of. You know what I mean? Like, the Bible it doesn't tell. It just kind of be like, oh yeah, Cain went and be a builder of great cities and shit like that. So, but yeah, let's just stick on Adam and Eve. We're not even gonna pay attention to Cain real quick. But say if Adam and Eve had a daughter, what do you think was gonna have to happen? Yeah, we're gonna get real ugly. The father was gonna have to fuck this daughter. And by the way, there was no kind of statutory or rape laws back in those days. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't let's wait until she's 18, or let's wait until she's a woman, and let's, the consent and all that shit. Nah, they want you to believe that Adam would fuck his daughters. The daughters would fuck their mom. The mom fucked their sons. You feel me? They want you to believe a whole orgy status popped the fuck off. And when you really think about it, there's no other way around that shit. There's just no other way. There's no other way, and they completely skip over that shit. Why? You know what I'm saying? Because it's raining now. But to be real, like, why skip over that shit? That's well, you don't want to put that in the fucking Bible, I notice. But that's exactly what you want people to believe. You don't think I mean, let's be honest. You're talking about Eve being the first female in existence, and you think God would condemn her to a fate just to get brutally fucked by her husband and kids over and over and over again? I mean, if you even do that in modern day, you know what I'm saying? That's some shit right there. You know what I'm saying? You can't really force a bitch to have multiple of your kids. And you know what I'm saying? You can't force her to fuck her sons and shit like that. And you know what I mean? Like, your daughters fuck the husband. That's some shit that you'll go to jail for these days. So you don't think that's, you know what I'm saying? That's what they want you to believe in the fucking Bible. That's the wild part. You feel what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I just don't believe that shit. I refuse to believe that God will be that brutal to women. Now, this ain't no, you know what I'm saying? This really ain't no, this ain't nothing against or with a particular gender. This is just God himself. You're talking about the first female in existence condemned to such a fate? I don't think so. You feel me? So what logically makes sense is the fact that this earth was populated simultaneously. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would just make sense. And we arose from the earth primitively. And what we did with our lives was our own. But, you know what I'm saying? We arose from the earth, to be honest, all over the globe. Or I wouldn't even say globe, because it's not a, you know, it's not a globe, but all over earth. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only possible logically, like, if you were God and you had to create a population, would you only create 2 people? That would be fucking stupid. And then on top of that, why would you put a man first? You know, women don't come from men. When in nature at all, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to humans. When have you seen a woman come from a man? Or does it looks like to me women give birth to men, not vice versa. So why do you think the first woman ever created would come from a fucking man when nature constantly tells us otherwise? You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. That's like, I don't know, let me try to make a dumbass analogy, because that's really dumb. That's like saying, I don't know, the fucking grass was, you know, the grass was pink. All the grass was pink back in biblical days, but they green as a motherfucker now. It don't make sense. Nature tells me grass and plants and shit naturally are fucking green. And I'm looking at them. You know what I'm saying? Grass is fucking green. I'm looking at a bunch of grass and trees and shit, and they all look green. If that shit told me that shit was pink at one time, I'd probably be calling bullshit like I am now. Because nature is telling me, and the shit's never changed. So, why would I believe that shit was somehow different, you know, before I was born? Shit ain't never changed since I've been alive, and since, you know what I'm saying, most motherfuckers been alive, so that's kind of a stretch. And to be honest with you, if you think it's kind of ridiculous that we all just arose from the earth, it's not really that much of a stretch than being like, yeah, Adam and Eve had to, you know, their kids had to totally engage in incest. That's not, I mean, that's kind of a stretch to believe, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, just accepting the fact that Eve had to fuck her sons, accepting the fact that Adam had to fuck his daughters. Let's be real, we shouldn't even know who the fuck Adam and Eve is, if we want to be honest with you. Most people don't even know who their ancestors are. And you're talking about, these are closer in our own bloodlines, and you're than Adam and fucking Eve. And come on, do you honestly think their names would be Adam and fucking Eve, some simple ass American European names that we can pronounce easily? No, they would be some fucking, they probably didn't even have names. Let's be honest with you. That's what we named them. God didn't have no damn time to name their ass, probably. He made everything. He was tired. And if he did name them, let's be real, it would have been some shit that our ass couldn't pronounce. You feel me? It would be some shit that we had to have translated. We had to have made up or some shit, because God giving people names, come on now. It's just, I think he's got better shit to do. You know, and even if, like I said, even if he did give them names, I'm sure nobody was alive to know who the fuck Adam was. Because only Adam and Eve was fucking alive. So can't nobody tell me, yeah, I knew Adam. Bitch, no you didn't. God didn't make your ass yet. You wasn't born yet. Your ancestors weren't even born yet. Get the fuck out of here. No one knew the fuck Adam and Eve is. So the whole Bible can miss me with Genesis. To be honest. In particular. You know what I mean? Just in particular, that just bothers me. Because it's just some bullshit. It's like how these movies start off with narration and shit. It's the same thing the Bible start off with. It's just like, who the fuck is this narrator that's telling me shit mentally in my head? Who was there to know what the fuck God said, talking about some let there be light? Who was there? Instead of, you know what I'm saying, everybody's like, oh, the prophets. Don't you think he would have made a fucking prophet at the time and Adam and Eve? He would have made the prophet Adam and Eve. He wouldn't have just made Adam and Eve and not fucking make the prophet to record shit in the moment he was making shit happen. If he wanted that shit to be documented, there was a way to document that shit. Let's be honest, he could really, if he really wanted us to know, he could really just, he could have really imprinted all humans with the imagery of shit getting created. But he didn't, because it's not our business to know while we're alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're born dumb as fuck for a reason. Like, we got to get taught everything for a reason. We don't pop out knowing what the fuck, you know what I'm saying, knowing what's going on for a reason. You know, we're born dumb as hell, and we die just as dumb half the time, which is also sad, because a lot of people haven't even heard a scrap of truth a day in their life. You know what I'm saying? But it's really one of those things that kind of gave me pause, where I'm just like, just on a logical level, it would make sense that the earth itself was populated simultaneously. You know what I mean? Like, why would it be anything other than, when you think about it? Like, does that give you some kind of good feeling to know that Adam had to fuck his kids and Eve had to fuck her sons and vice versa? You're okay with that? It's wild to me how many people are okay with the thought of incest without even batting an eyelash, because it's in a fucking book. Because God apparently wrote it. Man, let me tell you, if God wrote something, that shit would be in some kind of shining, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of shining aura or some shit, and it would not be in fucking English, let me assure you. That shit would be in some shit that we would see and just be able to understand. That shit wouldn't be in no kind of particular language, because God is above English. You know what I mean? He's above language. It would be some shit that we 100% know that came from God. Like the sun, for instance. Like the moon, for instance. You know, shit that man can't really replicate. You know, it's just one of those things we would just know without, even the smartest, even the atheist has to know at some point. Yeah, the sun wasn't made by humans. And just leave it at that. That's a huge brick wall that most people just choose to ignore. You know what I mean? But even as a child, I looked up at the sky and was like, yeah, I exist. My parents exist. My grandparents exist. My great-grandparents exist. My great-great-grandparents exist. And as a kid, you got all the time in the world to be sitting there thinking back. And then you're like, well, where did the first people come from? You know what I mean? So it's like everything always led back to this one pinpoint of a moment that I knew it was something beyond my understanding, and I was okay with that, because I always felt like that's how it was supposed to be, because that's all I needed to know. I didn't need to know everything about him, just know that he exists, and that you're the reason he's here, or he's the reason that you're here. You know what I mean? Like, and to be honest with you, sometimes I think, like, just of all the religions that we made, I find it even feasible that, you know what I mean, he has made a separate heaven for everyone and their religion, because we've chopped them up into so many pieces. What kind of parent would he be to just, you know what I'm saying, just lead us astray like that? He'd just be like, you know, the Buddhists got this, the Christians got this, you know what I'm saying, the Catholics got this. It's their own little, I've made little sections for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put it past them. It's totally raining. It's raining. I'm about to go inside and end this fucking video. But that's all I'm saying. I'm just like, I felt like we all rise from the dirt at some point, because the dirt is where we return to at the end of the day.